Imagine yourself in East Windsor in the 1770s. Most likely, East Windsor's most famous participant in the revolution was Israel Bissell, who was a post rider who carried news of British hostilities much further than did Paul Revere. Bissell rode from Watertown, Massachusetts to Worcester, Putnam, Plainfield, Norwich, and New London, bringing the message that the British were coming. East Windsor had its part to play during the turmoil of the 1770s and 1780s. Shortly after Lexington and Concord, town leaders from East Windsor shipped grain to Bostonians living under a port blockade imposed by the British. Shortly after the battle, East Windsor furthered its reputation as a provisions town, collecting lead to be melted into shot, collecting armaments, clothing, fresh meats, and flour. Men from East Windsor answered the call at the battles of Trenton, and they wintered in encampments with General Washington in Morristown, New Jersey. They fought in White Plains, in Ticonderoga, and Lake Champlain. All told, and with incomplete records, more than 400 people from the town of East Windsor served in the Revolutionary War. William Franklin, the governor of New Jersey and the loyalist son of Benjamin Franklin, was actually held a prisoner in East Windsor until he was returned to the British in a prisoner exchange. And in our town, only 3 people were known to be Tory sympathizers. Confronted with the reasons and the spirit that led to the revolution, there was a continuous goal reflected in another of our country's founding documents. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union. That's the opening of the Constitution. This prevailing phrase is powerful. It specifically seeks to correct the past mistakes of the Articles of Confederation, under which we were really just a collection of states without any central government at all. It also acknowledges a truth that the founders understood, that a flawless society is unattainable, but that we must always seek to improve our nation in ways that are perpetual, inclusive, and because our work can never truly be finished. America is and always has been a work in progress. Since our earliest days, we have journeyed toward becoming better versions of ourselves. As an example of this, at first, only white propertied men had the ability to vote. That eased after a few decades, and the franchise was extended to any white male. After the Civil War, we extended that right to any male was eligible to vote, although we didn't do a really good job for a number of decades after that of extending that franchise to African American men. And it was 6 decades after the Civil War before women were granted the right to vote. We are still working to become more perfect, and we have more work to do. And there are and always will be ways in which we can help the least of us more than we do. There are and will always be ways in which we can build more of a sense of community. There are and will always be ways in which we can set up our children for opportunities and experiences and successes beyond what we ourselves had. To form a more perfect union acknowledges that the American experiment will never be done and that there will always be more work to do. And we the people tells us who it is that is tasked with trying to form that more perfect union. So as we celebrate the American experience over the last 250 years, let's also look ahead for what still needs to be done and how we can each be a part of that. Thank you again for spending some of your time with us today.